Good morning, stamping friends. It's Angie here with Too Cool Stamping, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'd love to be your demonstrator if you don't already have one. We're here today with our weekly live class. We do this every Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and this week we are doing an introduction to the fourth and final Countdown to Christmas class series card projects. So I'll be showing you those. We're also going to have a 5-card live class kit that goes along with that. So I'll explain all of that as we go through our projects today. Needless to say, you can earn that free card kit with a purchase with me. You can just go to toocoolstamping.com and place an order there on the Shop Now link. If you place a $35 order and use today's host code, which I will have in the description and also on my website, toocoolstamping.com, if you use that code, you can get that free 5-card class kit. So that, I forgot to tell you what we're going to be using. Snow Wonder is our last featured bundle for our Countdown to Christmas class. And I love this particular bundle because it's an adorable snowman. So who doesn't love a snowman for the holidays? So we're going to be talking about that today. Let's see, before we get started, just a couple of reminders. I just introduced a brand new Curvy Celebrations collection of products on my website. That just started this week, and that's available through January 4th only. So you might want to check that out. Also, still going on, if you missed last week's live class kit, there's still the Tag Buffet 12-card kit. This is a larger kit that includes the stamp set and I think some rhinestones, some red rhinestones with it, and you get all of the cards that I just demonstrated on my live class last week. So that is still available. Let's see. That registration ends on November 15th, so still plenty of time to sign up for that. And then we'll have today's 2 different class options for the Snow Wonder bundle. Okay, let's turn our camera down because I have lots of stuff to show you this week, and I know you're going to love it if you love snowmen. So hang on, you can close your eyes now. I'll tell you when to open. A little roller coaster. All right. Okay, you can open your eyes. We're going to turn on some lights here, and I'm going to show you the Snow Wonder bundle, and we're going to use kind of, this isn't part of a larger suite, so I needed to kind of look around and see what paper and other accents I wanted to use. So I'm kind of going in a unique direction for me anyway. I bought the Trimming the Town Designer Series paper, and I'll show you that in a minute. So we're gonna feature that with our Snow Wonder bundle, but let's show you that first. Here's the Snow Wonder stamp set. Really pretty, fun to color, again with Stampin' Blends. We've been doing for the past couple of weeks Stampin' Blends coloring, and this is another good one to color, but you don't need to color it. There's enough detail in all of this that you can just do plain stamping and not have to color it in to make a beautiful card. It's also fun for embossing. We didn't do any heat embossing today on our projects, but it's fun for that too. Some beautiful sentiments. I love the font. Good for inside and outside of the card, and I always love some snowflakes too. So that's the Snow Wonder stamp set. You get 7 images there, and then you have the coordinating what's it called? Snow Time dies. So you'll be able to cut out your trees, you'll cut out your snowman, you can cut out the little wreath here in the corner with die. There's a little label that goes with all of the sentiments, so that's easy. And then some really unique little embossed snowflake corners, so some cute corner decor that you can put on your backgrounds or your focal points. So, and we'll have 1 card that shows that as well. So that is what we're going to be working with today. Also, like I mentioned earlier, there was no specific suite with this, so I chose the Trimming the Town Designer Series paper to work with. I love the festive and fun colors, the real red, actually this is, I think it's Poppy Parade Isn't that great? It seems like it's real red, but Poppy Parade is a great Christmas color. So Poppy Parade, Old Olive, and then Misty Moonlight. I love that color combination, really great. And I love this designer series paper because we're using all the back sides basically. Just a couple that we're using the fronts, but I call them the back sides because they're just patterns that are very kind of small, things that are very versatile. You can use them with anything. And this one is a really unique one. It has all the different sentiments in different languages as well, so that's fun. And then you have the Trimming the Town Suite is all about that really cute stamp set that has the houses. I have not even purchased that yet, but the paper is really cool, you know, with other things too. So if you are interested in the house, Trimming the Town Suite, that's what goes with this. So there's lots of cool paper. This is great for scrapbooking when you're going on like a ski trip over the winter. Some people all bundled up for the winter. Some trees and some wreaths. Do you recognize that wreath? It kind of looks like this wreath on this stamp set as well. So that's a little sneak peek of what we're going to do today. So anyway, so that's what we're working with, Trimming the Town Designer Series paper. So fun. Also, I had to use these adorable Adhesive-Backed Snowflakes. You guys, these are fantastic. So let me show you what those are. You get, I've used a lot of them already, but you can see that one is kind of, they're both iridescent, but one's more of like a pool party, blues, a little bit of yellow in there and greens. And then the other one is a little more, almost very vanilla, some pinks, some yellows in there. So I don't even know if you can, there you go. You can see those a little bit better. Anyway, some variety with these, and they're little tiny sequins-like accents, and they just are really fun to use. So we're going to be using those on all of our cards today, I think. Except for one. I think one I don't have it on, but anyway. Okay, so let's get started with our projects today. Again, like I mentioned, this is going to be kind of a double, we're doing double duty. I'm going to be showing you the cards for my Countdown to Christmas class, and then there's a little bit of an overlap to do the 5-card live class kit that we are going to have for this week as well. If you're interested in that free 5-card class kit, you'll want to use that host code that you see here, EWN4R6XB. And there's always some really fun letters in there. You'll need a $35 order for a minimum at my toocoolstamping.com website. Okay, this is Real Red. Like I told you, the designer series paper is actually Poppy Parade, but it goes really well with Real Red, and that's what we're using most of the time here. So we're starting out with a Real Red card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Next, I just have a background piece here. It's going to go as a matte on this 3 3/4 by 5 piece of Whisper White, and I've already embossed it with the Winter Snow embossing folder, one of my favorites for the season for sure. You can use either side, the deboss side. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. I'm trying to move it around so it does. I like the deboss side myself, so I'm going to put that as the side that's going to show here, and we'll just add it with the Stampin' Seal. And I'm going to add that onto a 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 piece of Old Olive. So that's going to be my background. Before we put that on though, I'm going to put a little bit of, let's see, I dropped it on the floor. There we go. That same Trimming the Town Suite has all the Trimmings ribbon, and this is it's a ribbon that has, let's see, did I bring it? Yes, I did. I love this ribbon. It's really easy to tie. It has a beautiful, it's a satin ribbon with a beautiful gold, or maybe it might be champagne metallic edge to it. So it really sparkles, it catches the light really well. But you get both of these in a pack, and I love that. We're going to be using that on several of our projects. So for this one is our Old Olive version, and I think that's a Poppy Parade as well, because it goes with that Trimming the Town Suite. So we're just going to tie this in a double knot for the background here and trim that up with our scissors. And before we put that down, I'm going to wait till I get a couple of things ready so I know exactly where I want that ribbon to go. It's going to be kind of around here, but let's just see what our positioning is first. We're going to do a little sentiment. I've already die cut with the die cut that comes in the bundle, and this is in Pool Party. And I'm just going to add one of the sentiments in the Memento Tuxedo black ink. Perfect. All right, and then I might as well leave that out because I'm going to be stamping a snowman. So this is where this is going to go. I'm just going to go ahead and put that on. That way I know exactly where the positioning is for my ribbon. Might want to just pull it up just a tiny bit, and then I can add that to my background, to my card base. All right, simple, really pretty festive colors. All right, now let's work on our focal point. This one's just going to be a really simple one. Again, we're going to use the Stitch Shapes framelits, and that is the largest oval that's in there. If you don't have the Stitch Shapes dies, you'll definitely want to get those. I use them just about every week. I use one form or another. They have ovals and circles and squares. They're just classic, basic shapes that look great all the time. So here is our beautiful snowman, and you'll notice there's a lot of detail in that snowman. It is one of the distinctive types of rubber stamps, so it really has a lot of detail. All right, let's color him in a little bit. The thing about the past couple weeks, we've been doing a lot with Stampin Blends Markers and working a lot with shading and things like that. We're not doing any of that fancy stuff this time. We're just laying some color down so that he has a little bit of color. And there's not really that much coloring you need to do on this because it's mostly snow, which is white, so you don't want to color that in. So I just did the light old olive for his hat. I'm going to do the dark old olive for the little holly leaves here. And then, what do I have here? The light real red. Actually, I'm going to, yeah, light real red. And I'm just coloring with the brush tip. Just kind of paint the color on. You don't want to push really hard because you don't want to ruin that nib. Just kind of lay the color down. So we'll color in his scarf. Every snowman has to have a little red scarf, right? And you could do a lot more detailed coloring if you wanted to. Let me color in these berries. You could do shading. You could add some color to his stick arms if you wanted to, but you don't really need to. So just a little pumpkin pie on his nose. And then some Pool Party, again with the brush tip end. And I'm just going to kind of lightly brush on some shading just around the edges of each of the parts of his snowman, and maybe a little bit down here too. I mean, snow isn't really blue, but it kind of has, you know, if it's in the sunlight, it kind of has a tinge of blue. I see that I missed a little tiny spot on my scarf. All right, and that's all you need. It's just kind of a classic look. Doesn't need a whole lot. All right, let's pop that up with dimensionals and we'll be good to go for this first card. Now, I don't want to put any dimensionals down here because that's where the ribbon is. So again, for positioning purposes, I'm going to just do a 180 flip there. And that way I'll know exactly where I need to add my dimensionals. So I didn't want to get too close to the edge there. I like this card. It's really simple. It would be perfect if you're mass producing cards. It's gonna go really, really quickly for you. And then of course we need to add just a few of these cute snowflakes. Again, I find that the pool party ones look really, really cute with a lot of things. That blue tinge to them really looks great. There you go, just a little hint of sparkle. So that is our first card. Let me show you. I did another version. Of course, my Too Cool version, very similar, same real red background. I used Bermuda Bay as the layer, Sahara Sand for the background. I really love how that looks. It just kind of makes this center piece pop a little bit more. I also used the different, the pinkish tone of the snowflakes, which kind of brings out the real red, and then I also used the real red trim around it. So those are the two versions. For the Countdown to Christmas class, you're going to be making 2 each of the 2 styles. So, whoops. So you'll make 4 of this style, 2 of two different versions. All right, and then for our 5 card class, you're going to be making this one. I'll have all of the information for the 5 card class as well as the Countdown to Christmas 12 card class on my website, toocoolstamping.com. All right, let's go to the next card. This one starts with Coastal Cabana. Again, just another traditional basic 5.5 by 8.5 score at 4 1/4. This one's actually going to be horizontal, and I'm going to start by stamping the snowflake images, and I'm going to use Pool Party. You could use the Coastal Cabana if you wanted to. I just wanted something that I knew was going to be, it's almost the same as Coastal Cabana when you're stamping on that same background. So you'll notice I just want to fill up half of the card here, and I'm starting kind of down the center, and I always go at a diagonal so that I can work from the middle out, and that helps the random stampingness of it all. And I'm not carrying as much around here. It's actually going to be nice and covered up, but we'll make sure that we get everything pretty much done there for the whole side. All right, next I'm going to add a piece of the Trimming the Town Designer Series paper. So a pop of Poppy Parade here. It really does look like real red, but Poppy Parade is a really awesome color for Christmas. So that goes to the side, super cute. Next, we're gonna have a piece here. Let me give you the measurements. Kind of forgot. It's a 4 1/4 by 2 3/4 piece of Whisper White. We're gonna stamp a sentiment on the bottom. Happy Christmas. And this is in Coastal Cabana, so it matches that background. Next, we're gonna add, let's see, we're gonna set that aside for now. Let's work on a couple of other parts. I'm gonna be using some of the Poppy Parade trim there. All right, we also want to stamp the trees. So we're gonna use that as a background. We're gonna have like a little mini scene going on. So you can create a really elaborate scene with this Snow Wonder stamp set. I didn't want to go that detailed. I wanted to keep it simple for this class. So this is kind of a more simple version of that. So I've stamped this in Shaded Spruce. I love the detail, really nice. You wouldn't have to color that in at all. Then I've used the Snow Time dies to cut that out. So that's another piece that we have available. I'm actually gonna put that right on our background here. So it will be ready to go. So that'll go about right there. And I'll go ahead and wrap my ribbon around and tie that. And just like the other one, we're just going to do a double knot. Nothing fancy here. I know a lot of people don't like tying bows, feel like they can't tie bows very well. I do, if I have any bows in my kit, I usually tie them for you. I don't know if you knew that, but just a little thing that I do. But a lot of times if you just do a double knot, and it makes a little faux bow. So we'll put that over here, straighten that out so it's not overlapping our Christmas. And then let's go ahead and adhere that to the background. Now normally, if I have ribbon around a layer like this, I like to pop it up. But I think I just use some seal, and the seal is definitely sticky enough that you don't have to worry about it coming up off of your card front. So here is our little scene, and then all we need to do is add that snowman. So here's just a scrap piece of paper, and again, add our little snowman. He needs a name. You guys have some ideas for a name? Every snowman, besides Frosty. We have enough Frosty, right? So if you have a name, write it in the comments. All right. And then I already covered this one. Well, let me go ahead. We've already colored the other one, so I'll just show you this one that I've already colored, which it was supposed to go on a different card because I have Misty Moonlight on there, and this doesn't have Misty Moonlight. But it should have had a Bermuda Bay. Let me show you what it should look like. Or actually, Pool Party. I think I used Pool Party, but you could use Bermuda Bay for the hat, Poppy Parade for the scarf. I used some shaded spruce for his holly hat, and popped him up with some dimensionals after I cut him out with the coordinating die, and then added some, of course, the snowflakes, the little snowflakes sequins. So for the Countdown to Christmas class, you're going to get parts and pieces to make 2 of those. And then we also have the Too Cool version, which that's the one I made an extra of here with the Misty Moonlight hat. So we used a different color of designer series paper. We used Pear Pizzazz for the background, stamped in Pear Pizzazz snowflakes. We used Mossy Meadow this time for the trees, just to give it a nice dark green color. And then stamp that in Misty Moonlight for the hat. Yeah, so that looks really cute too. So you'll get 2 of those. I did this one just with the Poppy Parade hat, so I flipped the colors on there so you can see the difference. But you'll get enough to make 2 of each of these, 4 of this style. So I like to give you lots of variety in your card kit. So that is for the Countdown to Christmas class. And then for your 5-card class, we're gonna do this one, the one that I demonstrated. Okay, let's go on to our next one. Here's another one that I really, really love. We're gonna start with our thick Whisper White cardstock. We've cut it a little shorter this time, so it's 5.5 by 6.5, and then again scored at 4 1/4. So it's just gonna give you a shortened card front here. So there is that. Next we have let's do the background here. We have a piece of the Trimming the Town paper again, and it's, let's see, I think it's 2 1/8. No, it's just 2, and it's 2 by 5 1/4. So that will go on our outside flap here. Our front flap. And then when you're cutting this, what I did was I just cut it in half sheet of cardstock like I normally do, and then I cut off a little strip here to make it was 6.5 wide. So the strip that I had left over, also in that thick Whisper White, comes from that. And then you'll just need to cut off 1/4 inch, and then I ran it through the Winter Snow folder so you can see the snowflake texture that I have on there. So that way we're not wasting any piece, especially of that thicker cardstock. A lot of times when you have pieces of that left over, what do you do with that? You don't really need thick unless it's something that's a cardstock. So I love how that goes together. Do you see how the texture looks with that? Really pretty. All right, let's look at our focal point now. This time, again, we're going to stamp with that Snowman. He's our spotlighted character for most of these cards, for sure. I'm going to put him down here, kind of off to the side. And then we're going to, I need my Simply Chamois. I need to clean off my snowflakes here. And I want to stamp those in Misty Moonlight to match our Trimming the Town paper. So a couple, oh, that's not the right color. That's early espresso. So yeah, I didn't do that right. Let's start again. Here's another piece. That was silly. I swear I looked at it and I thought for sure that that was the right color, and I just grabbed it. Ta-da! All right, let's start again. So we have our snowman down here. Misty Moonlight. Yeah, okay. Got it right this time. That's looking better. I don't know why in the world I thought I grabbed the right one, but I sure didn't. All right, a couple snowflakes there. Let's color him in a little bit with, I'm going to use Dark Pool Party. And I'm going to do it for both the hat and the scarf this time. And we'll use the Light Pool Party again for the snow. Just a little hint of color. Add a little for the berries. Old Olive for the holly leaves. Carrot nose with the pumpkin pie. You can do a little bit more than that if you wanted to, but I'm going to stop there. We'll add that to our layer. I don't think I told you the measurements on this. It's 3 by 4. So we'll add this to a 3 1/8 by 4 1/8 piece of Pool Party. We're going to put that on the front. We want to make sure our dimensionals don't go onto the second layer here, so I'm just going to flip this 180 this way, line it up, and then I can add my dimensionals. I know exactly where they should go without going over too far. All right. There we go. Now we're going to add a sentiment. I already have a piece here. It's 2 3/4 by 5/8. And we're going to use that Happy Christmas again. I got to clean it off. And we'll stamp again with our Misty Moonlight. And then we're going to just trim the one side into a little banner So we'll use our super sharp paper snips, go up the center, and then corner to center, corner to center. Add a little bit of seal on the back. And then we'll just add that boom right there. All right, then when you're going to put the inside on, just a little tip, I'll show you with this scrap piece was supposed to be our inside of the card, but when you're going to put that on, you're going to put some seal on the background here, and then to make sure that it fits right behind there so that it's nice and hidden, you can just line it up on this side like that with your adhesive on it, and then close it. Close it, and then when you open it up, it will be, whoops, I don't have it on there. Let's see. I have it on one of these. Here we go. When you close it and then open it back up, you'll have your writing area in there. Don't forget to stamp some snowflakes on there too. That makes it look really cute. Add some little sequins from your snowflake sequins. Super, super cute. So that one is going to be in your 5-card kit. And then we also have a Too Cool version. So this is the Too Cool version, and I did this one in Pool Party for the background. I used that wreath, trimming the town paper, and then stamped the wreath on this one. Now, I felt like I wanted the wreath to really look like these images, and when I stamped it in black, it was a little too bold, and so I used smoky slate for my stamping, and then colored it in with the light old olive and light real red, and then I also stamped the snowman in the light smoky slate as well. I kept his hat white. You wouldn't need to do that, but you can actually, here's one that I didn't. I did that one in Pool Party, and then yeah, I didn't really add a lot of color to that. I added a pear pizzazz sentiment this time with the smoky slate stamped on it, real red for the layer. And then don't forget to add a sentiment on the inside. Oh, instead of using the snowflakes, I thought that would be too busy with the wreath, so I used the subtle embossing folder for that. So hopefully you can see that texture. So yeah, that's the Too Cool version. So you'll have this one for the 5-card kit, and then the Countdown to Christmas class kit. This will be your final design, 2 each, so you'll get 4 cards from this style. All right, we have a couple more left. Hopefully you can stick around and see those. All right, this one is another scene, and we start with the old olive. Let's get things straightened out a little bit here. We're getting a little bit whopper-jawed. Old olive card base. And then next, I have another piece of the Trimming the Town. You could use this side. I love this side. Doesn't it remind you of like Minnie Mouse or something? But I'm going to use the tree side. And we'll add this to the background. All right. So this is another scene card. So we have a 3 3/4 by 5 piece of Whisper White. We're going to stamp those trees. I need to get those nice and clean because we're going to switch a color here. Make sure I have that. Whoops. Just a little bit left. There we go. We're going to stamp that in Pear Pizzazz this time. I'm going to do one here, another one here, and then maybe one down here. So whole scene. All right, this one I actually do need my early espresso. So I'm going to stamp one of the sentiments on a piece of Pool Party here, and this is a 3 3/4 by 1 1/4. And I'll add that over here. And then we'll adhere that to our background. All right. Again, we're going to add some ribbon around here. So I'm using the old olive from all the trimmings ribbon. And again, we're just going to tie into a double knot just to make it easy. And we'll trim that up. All right, and then we're gonna add that to our background. So we're covering a lot of that designer series paper up, but it does have the colors that we need, and it has the tree theme, so it goes with the other trees, so that looks really cute. Then you want to stamp the snowman in early espresso and color him in. I colored him in with some mossy meadow, some Bermuda Bay, and just kind of darker versions of the colors we're already using just to make it pop a little bit more. But other than that, he's about the same as the other ones we've been doing. Again, to Christmas kit. All right, let's finish up with some of our, but it really goes together really well. So there is another card for our 5-card kit. I want to show you the Too Cool version. So this one I did with a Misty Moonlight background. Another different piece of the Trimming the Town Designer Series paper. I stamped the snowman this time in Misty Moonlight just to see what that would look like. The sentiment's also in Misty Moonlight. Otherwise, it's exactly the same. So you can get just an idea of what it would look like with some other colors. All right. The final card today has no snowman. We did 4 with the snowman, and he's adorable, but I wanted to branch out and do something just a little bit different for our last one. This one starts with Just Jade as our background. And this also has, this is a 3 3/4 by 5-inch piece of mint macaron. Can you see the embossed texture here on the corner? There's just hopefully the light is picking that up. There's also some down here. And that is actually from these little pieces in the die set that I just placed right on here. They don't cut, they just make an impression, more than like, you can call them an embossing piece, but they make an impression, an indentation into your paper. I don't think it comes through to the backside, not really. The backside is not something that you can use, but I just thought these were so cute. And you can have them go clear around the edges if you wanted to. You could finish this off and make this a complete border all the way around, but I liked just what it looked like with the 2 on here. So that's really cute. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's really pretty. Trust me if you can't see it. So we'll add that to a Whisper White layer. So this is a 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And we're going to add a little piece of ribbon. You could use that same all the trimmings ribbon, but I wanted a little more pop of color for this one. So this is the red sheer ribbon, and I'm just going to wrap that around there to make a layer. No bows, no knots. Just a little textured layer there. We'll cut off the excess. And then we'll finish adding that to our background. I love that little hint of white, really makes it pop. Okay, then we're gonna, I've already done this just to make things go faster, and I think that you get how to color at this point, but I used a Hippo and Friends die to die cut Whisper White, and then I stamped that wreath image 3 times. You got to be real careful when you're putting that on there. They just barely fit, so I started stamp at the middle. Then you can know exactly how much room you have between the 2 edges when you're stamping each side. So you're going to have to get them really, really close. It's easy to do, but you just have to realize that they're very close. Don't start at one side and go to the other side. Start in the middle. And also don't start at, a lot of times I'll tell people when you have 3 things lining up, do one side and then the other, and then do the middle. You'll run out of room in the middle. Start with the middle, and then you'll know exactly how much you need. You'll also might want to just bump it up just a tiny bit, not exactly in the center, so that you'll have enough room to stamp that sentiment. And I stamped the wreaths and the sentiment in basic gray. Again, I thought the black was just a little bit too bold for this particular card. So before we add it, I added a piece here of basic gray as a little accent behind it. Let me get you a measurement on there, 4 1/4 by 1, and we're just going to add that to the back. So we'll just kind of line this up. It pretty much fits right between that curve in the label. And then we'll pop it up. Again, this is another easy one. It just takes a little time to color. But I definitely wanted to feature that wreath. It just was really pretty and elegant. And I thought it was perfect with that embossed background. So we'll add that right over our bow. And for any of these cards, if you want to add Wink of Stella, it is always a good thing. Obviously the Snowman, you could put Wink of Stella on and that would really make it shimmer and pop and glisten like snow does in the sun. I'm just putting a little bit of Wink of Stella here on the bows just to give it a little pop. I was going to put some kind of rhinestones, but then I just thought it was too much if I did that. So just a hint of sparkle kind of picks up the sheen of the ribbon on the side there. But I thought that was just a nice simple way to feature that those wreaths. All right, too cool version. Here's another one, completely, you're gonna get this card in your 5-card kit. This is kind of a different color scheme, but I love how this turned out. It just is kind of a vintage look almost. It has soft suede on the background. It has very vanilla instead of Whisper White. You have the crumb cake for the background. I stamped in soft suede for all of the wreaths, and then colored them in old olive, light old olive, and again in real red, and some pear pizzazz for the accent strip there too. So soft suede for the sentiment. I love, it's just such a cute vintage look, and I think it really goes well just adding brown, just like this card. When you add brown for the Snowman, it just kind of gives it a little bit of a vintage feel, which I really liked. All right, so let's look at everything that we get again. I'm going to close this up before I get ink on one of my cards. I would not want that to happen. Get some of this out of my way, and I'll show you again the 2 different card classes. So the first thing that I want to show you is the 5-card class. You're going to have this one that we just sheared. Here's our first one, our other landscape, and then these 2. So these are all of the cards that you'll get in your 5-card kit. This is what you can earn for free, absolutely free. You get all the parts and pieces. You just add stamps inks and adhesives, and you just get that by placing an order at toocoolstamping.com. $35 order minimum. Be sure to use that host code. I have kits every week, and I want to make sure that I know which kit you're wanting to get. So be sure to use the EWN4R6XB host code. That's going to give you all the parts and pieces for this particular 5-card class for Snow Wonder. That date you'll have until November 11th to earn that card kit for free, and then that kit will mail out that next Monday. Usually I mail them out on Saturdays, but I'm taking a few days off next week, so it'll go out Monday, November 16th in the mail. Now, the other card class that I have going on is the Countdown to Christmas class. Let me share all of those parts and pieces again. So you'll have 12 cards, and it's 4 each of 3 styles. So here's our first style in the 2 different versions. We have our second style here in the 2 different versions. And then our third style in the 2 different versions. So you get parts and pieces for all 12 of these cards for the Snow Wonder 12-card Countdown to Christmas class. Also in this class, this is part of my card series to help you get your holiday cards done. It's the final class in the card series. So in that class, you're also going to get the Snow Wonder stamp set, and you're going to get a half a pack of the Trimming the Town Designer Series paper. So they'll be cut 6 by 12, so you'll get half a pack of that. And then of course you're going to get I have them buried right now, but I'm going to get them out so you can see. You're going to get a pack of the Adhesive-Backed Snowflakes because they are too cool as far as accents go. And you can use as many as you want. You don't have to stick with 3 on each one, but you can use as many as you want because you'll have a whole pack there. So that will be part of that class kit as well. It includes envelopes. It includes the PDF tutorial, and so you'll be all ready to go. There's also, if you want the whole bundle, which includes, you know, the cutout here. For most of these cards, you actually have to have, well, I guess only one you have to cut out. This makes it really easy to cut out. I love this label image here, so you'll have lots of variation, lots of variety there, and be able to cut out all the images very easily. So I have an add-on that you can get with that same Countdown to Christmas class. You just pay a little bit more. You're going to get that discounted bundle price that's 10% off on this bundle, and then also all the parts and pieces, just like the basic kit. If you are a demonstrator or you otherwise already have this stamp set, you can just get the cards only kit that is available as well. For information on that, I will have all the class information up later today on my Too Cool Stamping website, so you can find that all there. The registration for that will open later today, and also, let's see when that ends. That one goes through November 19th, so you'll have until the 19th of November to sign up for the 12-card kit, and that'll mail out on December 1st. It'll be the final of the 4-part Countdown to Christmas series. All right, everybody, I hope that you've really enjoyed the Countdown to Christmas series, as well as today's projects for Snow Wonder. It's such a cute stamp set and so much fun to play with. And we haven't had very much snow here, just a couple flakes here in Indiana, but I am anticipating building some snowmen later this year to have some joy in the winter time. All right, thanks again for joining me. I appreciate you taking your time this week. Just a little housekeeping note, I will not be having a live class next week on, the November 12th. I'm taking a few days off, so I will see you the following week. No live next week, but I will join you the following week. I'm looking forward to that very much. I love doing these classes with you. All right, everybody, have a great time, and I will see you next time. This is Angie with Too Cool Stamping. Thanks. Bye-bye.